Cuffs are off, man.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, friends? Daniel Dopp here from the Fantasy Focused Football Podcast over on ESPN.
It's Fabs here, Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated.
You know who you can trust? If you've got some questions about your fantasy squad,
Want to check out a cool show on YouTube that'll help you get ready for the fantasy football season?
check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Head on over to YouTube. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network because they're doing everything they can to make you a better fantasy player.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I get.
What up? What up? What up, world? Welcome back to the Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm Mike Herrick, aka Classic Mike, and I'm here with my good buddy Kendall. What's going on, brother? How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic tonight, brother. Ready to break down my own mental anxieties on the week. Crazy injuries galore. We got bye weeks finally hitting. It's that fun part where it literally takes me the entire week. You know what I mean, to kind of figure it out.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's one of those times where you like doing the show. Where you're like, I actually really want to just answer questions in chat for hours to figure out what the hell I'm going to do too and what people are thinking about. So,
it takes me a minute. I always tend to talk myself out of things that I would normally do to then start doing those. So hopefully we don't have to go down that road. Hopefully we can make those right decisions for you guys tonight and help you guys win your week. Tonight, we will be answering all your Week 5 start-sit questions. We'll be going over some news and notes. Like Kendall said, we got a bunch of injury news to go over. So make sure you guys throw your questions in the chat. If you guys want your questions answered right away, throw us a super chat. We'll stop the show just for you to answer those questions. We're going to be here for about an hour or so, maybe a little more. It's based on how much interaction we get from you guys. We're going to stay here for you. Quick little disclaimer. If you guys are going to be putting out your questions, make sure you guys are using the, giving us the format, the scoring, full PPR, half PPR, full, tight end premium, the whole deal. Let us know every little nuance so that we can
who's on your bench if it matters. 3 wide receivers versus 2, 1 flex versus 2.
Yeah, we want to know all those things. It makes things so much easier when we are going through and breaking it down. This is the first week of bye weeks, so yay for all of us. Right now, we have Bears, Falcons, Packers, and Steelers are all on a bye this week.
Oh, it's wonderful. I don't have to watch the Bears. It's awesome.
And
it's so
I
good.
get to watch my Giants before I go to a wedding on Sunday. So we have guys like Rome Odunze out, DeAndre Swift, Moore, Caleb Williams, Drake London, Penix, Bijan Robinson, Pitts, Warren, Rodgers, Metcalf. We got Jordan Love. We got Josh Jacobs, Rome Odunze. Or sorry, I said this one wrong. Romeo Dobbs and Tucker Kraft and more that are out this week. Those are just the big names. So just be aware. Take them out of your lineup if you haven't already. Hopefully you did. So some injuries that we're tracking. Not a lot on the QB side, thank God. Right now, J.J. McCarthy is going to be out. Carson Wentz will be in London. They're going to be facing the Browns. Jaden Daniels, he's good to go. He's actually going to play this week. He will be in. He's good to go. He had full practices all week. Baker is good to go as well. He had a bicep injury, but cleared and ready to go. All right, here comes the fun news. Unfortunately, we had 3 major running back injuries that happened this week. We had Bucky Irving. He's going to be ruled out with a knee injury and an ankle. He was walking around with a boot and crutches, the whole deal. People tried to play it down. I don't know about that.
This looks like a 2-weeker. This is at least 2 weeks.
This is a multi-week thing. Rashad White, Sean Tucker, they're going to be taking his place. They also brought up James Williams, I think it is. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
But
yeah, they brought up some nobody that I don't know. Trey Benson was put on IR. This is kind of big because everybody was all like, oh my God, James Conner, I'm going to go grab Trey Benson. And now he's out. So in place, they have DeMarcaro, they have Michael Carter, along with Bam Knight and Dearness Johnson. They asked everybody who's going to be who, what's going to be what, and they're not tipping their hand right now. I know we were talking about it previously. We were trying to figure out, is it DeMarcaro? Is it Carter? Who are you more comfortable playing at this point? Let's talk about that real quick before we jump into the others.
Yes, I think it's probably going to be. It's not going to be as bad as the Washington Commanders situation, where it's 20 snaps for Rodriguez, 20 snaps for Bill. I think it was 19 snaps for McNichols, where it's just literally a third. Kind of nasty. Better days for Bills ahead there. I think it's going to resemble what we saw more recently from the Carolina Panthers, right? Where with a healthy Chuba, where Chuba was seeing, he was pretty much primarily the early down work. He was getting less of the passing game as they got Rico a little more involved, and then Trevor Etienne as well. So I think it's probably going to be mostly a two-back committee, but I think get a few touches just here and there, just enough where I don't really want to I'm not start of the weeking either of them. If any, I think they're a little more fool's gold. Will vulture from each other. It's already an offense we don't love. Kyler doesn't pass to the running back nearly as much. He's actually doing a fair bit of running, but the overall offense is kind of putrid enough that I don't think a down tier at running back is really going to result in all of a sudden a bunch of points. It can, because that position is so volatile and volume driven, right? Oops, 70 yards and a touchdown happen all the time.
It can happen to anybody.
But I do think it's going to be Carter handling early down stuff, and then easily DeMarcado is already used to catching the passes. Yep. So I don't think there's many worlds where Carter is in on third down without having really adjusted to the offense. I just don't think so. But doing simple plays on first and second down is pretty easy. So that's kind of how I see the split, but I'm a little bit lower on all. They won't be DFS plays for me if that's, kind of a litmus test of where I think their weekly finish is likely to be. Their pickups mostly because it's a long-term.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's the biggest deal for me. I like DeMarcaro in the context that he already is seen 30, he's already been involved with the offense in one way or another. He was number 3. And now he's number 2, or, was number 2 and then now number 1. And his, pretty much his snaps gone up every time he's gotten that opportunity. He's at 39% after or before Trey Benson went down. So he's been heavily involved. But like you said, in the passing game, he'll be out there for pass protection as well. Michael Carter might get a little bit of early down work, but they're going to both be involved in one way or another. It's going to be closer to 50-50 than people might think. And then a little sprinkle of everybody else in between. I don't think you can go wrong in either scenario. It's going to be fun either way. I mean, it's going to be an interesting road, but it's for the long term. It's against the Titans. They're favored by 7.5. I mean, you can't go wrong with either or. I'm not, if you need a flex play because you're down, I mean, I'm in some leagues where I'm down Josh Jacobs and Swift. I need a running back. Boom. Okay. But like in other scenarios, I rather have the next scenario that we're going to talk about, which is Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard was ruled out this week with a calf injury. Rico Dowdle is now the backup and the starter. Oh, he is now the starter. They got nobody else really behind him. They got nobody to really play, to challenge him. They're not a great team. I get it, but they're facing the Dolphins, who are one of the best teams to run on. I'm okay with Rico Dowdle this week. I think I am very high on Dowdle. I'd rather have Dowdle than the two guys that we just
either the Cardinals. Yeah. I completely agree with that take for sure.
I would probably if you wanted me to give you an idea of the 5 running backs that we have that are currently like moving up a little bit, if you want to go, White, Tucker, DeMarcaro, Carter, and Dowdle, it's Dowdle, White, right next to each other. They're like 1A, 1B in my opinion, and then probably DeMarcaro, Carter, Tucker is how I'm going.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking at there's some questionable starts where we'll get into it a little later on, but like Chase Brown's kind of a hot dude. Do we keep playing him? And I have that Rachaad White and Dowdle are in a tier where I'm actually playing Dowdle above Chase Brown this week. Yeah, so there are some There are some questionable starts that are volume based. I'm just not into it. Where I agree with you. Those guys, those two guys are in a tier above. So not just in comparison to the guys below them from how they compare to each other, but even in terms of getting into your lineup, those top two are I project pretty heavily. 12 plus fantasy points. They're getting in over a lot of questionable guys.
I have Dowdle at 22. I moved him up. He was, I remember when I was submitting or publishing my my thing and it said, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." So yeah, that's a big one. Miles Sanders has an ankle injury currently, backup for the Dallas Cowboys. Jaden Blue is next in line. He had practice in his was it Gucci or Louis Vuitton? Sorry, Louis Vuitton Nike cleats that he had blisters on after the fact. He was almost injured. Just be aware of that. But yes, Jaden Blue is next up if you are looking for just to grab a guy and have on your bench. All three of these injuries, I'm telling you now, are going to be multi-week injuries for the starter ahead of them. Just be aware of that. All these guys should be picked up in one way or another on your bench or in your lineup based on your scenario. I'm not dropping them for big guys that you have on your bench that are on bye weeks, but if you have the ability to do it, I would do it. Wide receiver injury, the wide receiver injuries. Cedric Tillman, he's out. Terry McLaurin, out. Both have been ruled out. They're going to be out for another week or two. Mm-hmm. Michael Pittman was thrown on the injury report. He was back at practice on Friday. He's good to go. Unfortunately, his teammate, Alex Pierce, he was out with a concussion. He is looking good. He had sorry, I had this originally written and then I forgot to edit it. He was looking good and then had a setback at practice. Just be careful. He's not going to be playing this week. He's out. We'll talk about Josh Downs and A.D. Mitchell in a little bit. Turpin, I can never say his name correctly. Cavante, there we go. Cavante Turpin, kick returner / wide receiver for the Cowboys. He's unlikely to play. It looks like he is out, actually. He's out today, so he is no longer in the lineup. Jalen Tolbert, load him up. Calvin Ridley, he has not practiced most of the week. He was only limited on Friday. He's going to be questionable this week, so just be aware. Which, Alec to the moon.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, I can't wait.
Manor, let's go.
Yeah. Marvin Mims, he's been limited all week as well, but he is good to go. Diami Brown, he's unlikely to play. He's not looked good for the last couple of weeks. Deebo Samuel, he has a heel injury, but he made the trip. He's good to go. He's off the report. Just know that he has the injury in advance. You might want to grab somebody else just in case. Tight end injuries. These are the last of them. Brock Bowers, this is the big one. Brock Bowers, he was thrown on. Did not practice on Thursday after being limited on Wednesday. He did not practice today either. Right now, they're saying that he's gonna play. They keep saying they're optimistic that he's gonna play. This was a rest day. It's happened before. He's already done it. So I'm okay, but he's definitely lower in my rankings right now. He's not being used as much. I'm pretty much, if I have a better option, I'm using it. Darren Waller, I'm playing above him.
Yeah, there's some guys that it's an upside thing, right? It's he feels like even if he gets some more targets, if he can get up to a 7 and 8 target day, which honestly would be good at this point. It just doesn't feel like these are 20-yard completions. It doesn't feel like it's a red zone thing. It looks like he's a little bit slower with the knee brace. Just watching him the last week or two. So yeah, I mean, there's guys where I'm like, that's a cute play. I'm going to go with the tight end that's schemed up in a first read option, option way more. But there's other guys I'm sure we'll talk about that I would be more comfortable playing for a more stable floor outcome.
Oh, 110%. Right now, Juwan Jennings is on the report with an ankle injury. He's going to play. He's fine. You're going to play him because he's facing the Giants. Yeah. Giants can't stop a tight end to save their life. Darren Waller, he was limited all week, but he's good to go. He's off the injury report. Dallas Goedert, he's off the injury report, even though he was on very early in the week and then came off. Mason Taylor is also dealing with an injury, but he's good to go. There's a bunch of other tight end news that I could give you, but we're not going to sit here all day and talk about tight ends. Javonte Sanders is out. That's one I can tell you from the Panthers. But we're not going to go through all the nuance to that. We rather answer your questions. So let's start getting into your questions. So this is a great question. Flex Juwan Johnson or Kendrick Miller? Half-point PPR. What are you doing? I'm doing Johnson without.
I'm doing
twice.
Juwan Johnson for sure.
Yeah.
Kendra Miller, it's a little too box score chasing. I want to see at least one more week of where the snap share trend is. Kamara is actually pretty high on my list this particular week. So I think
would be too.
yeah, I mean higher than normal though. I think he has a little bit of a bounce back week. So I haven't seen enough. I actually buy into the Alvin Kamara could be traded.
Yeah, me too.
Stuff. It's a good
really,
candidate. It's just it's a couple weeks too soon. So I'm monitoring mostly because Kendra's already picked up everywhere, right? Kendra's really a waiver stash, but he's already been picked up. He's not a waiver pickup and plug in. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, it's a tough question if it's like, do I play Kendra Miller or Bashal Tootin because I have literal no one, or somehow Ollie Gordon's the only one healthy and playing this week. Okay, that's where we can start having this question, but not over a tier of player like Juwan Johnson, who is averaging, I think still, it's a little lower, but still close to 8-9 targets a game. I think it's up at 9.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy I want in my lineup at this point. And like I said, no one can stop the Giants, or no one can stop a tight end versus the Giants. So I am good with Johnson for sure. Well, Joe says he needs the Bears. He's hurting.
Yeah, one of the rare years where there's a lot of startable players on the offense, which is crazy. And there should be a lot more, if anything, which is nuts, right?
Oh, for sure. So Wicked, what's going on, man? Great to have you here tonight. He goes full PPR. Full PPR, half point. TP. Got it. So choose one for my flex. Chubb, Diggs, Michael Carter, Pacheco, Booty, or Ingram.
This is an easy Stephon Diggs for me by 2 car lengths.
You're gonna go with the revenge game narrative.
Not even the revenge game narrative, just the Drake May's like a start of the week play for me. Drake May has been one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the NFL, consistent fantasy players. I like what he's doing. He had the get right game with Diggs. I think Diggs is going to be a close to a weekly must start. I think he's going to be a Olave with better touchdown upside, to be honest with you. So I'm pretty high on Diggs. I'm high on that offense as a whole. Okay. And I mean, this week they're going to have to come from behind for most of the game, in my opinion. So I'm about it.
Okay. For me, I will. Well, what's your second?
What is my second there? It's not Pacheco. The tight end premium is making me think it's between Ingram and Carter is where I'm close with. Yeah. I am just not high enough on Carter. If Carter doesn't get a touchdown, I don't think I want to play him. I think I'm going to go Ingram. Yeah, I'm actually going Ingram here. I think Ingram's going to get the targets. He's just been injured, and they've always wanted a player like him. I think this is the week where the ramp up leads to. I would be pretty happy with. I mean, if he gets 7 targets, 5 catches for about 50, 60 yards with that half tight end premium, that's a pretty stable level that I think he's going to get with some upside.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, he's at 47% at this point. I mean, Troutman's in a little bit more, but Troutman's always been a blocking tight end in a lot of scenarios. So for me, I'm good with the Diggs. I'll go with the revenge narrative for mine. But on top of that, I don't mind Ingram here. I think he can do well. He's definitely faced the Eagles. He knows them well enough to be okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go with those two.
Yeah, I think you're spotting me 2.5 points on the half point.
That's right? The other part of it.
I don't love any of the guys, but if you're spotting me 2.5 points because I think he's catching 5 passes, I'll just take the math, I guess.
Yeah. Albert, what's up, brother? Great to have you here as always, my friend. Amazon Pancakes, what's going on, man? He goes,
nice
Mace.
Name, man.
See, I like this question. This one's going to be a little bit more fun for both of us.
Yeah.
So Mason, Henderson, or Dottle, which two would you guys start this week?
I am going. Wow, that's close. How much do I want to bury? The question is how much do I want to bury
Mason? Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm in the exact same boat. For those who haven't looked at my rankings as of late, I've been updating them the last couple hours since this is my best time to go through it prior to hopping on, and I moved I moved Jordan Mason down. He's 32 right now. He was 18 originally.
Yeah, man.
I have Rico Dowdle
The Cleveland
above
defense
him.
is so real. I think I'm legitimately going. If it's full PPR, I'm going Henderson and Dowdle. It's Dowdle one for me. I think I like Henderson this week. I'm targeting that game. I'm betting that game. I like the offense. There's eventually going to be a week where Henderson has some pop-offs. We just saw it from RJ last week, and Henderson's better. I could really see it this week.
My biggest thing. So the two players that I really want to know about are going to be at kickoff, and unfortunately, that's not until Sunday night. Ed Oliver and Matt Milano are questionable. If Ed Oliver is out, I'm going to feel more comfortable with Henderson, just because since he's been out, they have not been good against the run in any way, shape, or form. They're 18th against running backs this year. I have no problem playing Henderson and Dowdle, because those are the two I'm going to tell you. Because right now, Dolphins 23rd against the run. I'm good with that. I don't care what team they're playing. They're not good at stopping the run. They just can't. They don't have anybody that's in the middle. They have two really good pass rushers, but they have no one up the middle with the D tackle.
Oh, it's half PPR.
It's half PPR. Even so. So I'm still going Henderson. I'm still going Dowdle. Both are involved in the passing game in one way or another. Mason is not. And Mason is going to get shut down by Cleveland, who is number one against running backs, and they are 14th. They are 14.6 points per on average. That's for both or whatever amount of running backs you have.
All right, I'll say at half PPR, it breaks me. I'm gonna take
you're gonna be the other way.
the touchdown. Yeah, it's that. Well, when I look at like an implied like point total, touch total projection, it's hard. I'm not seeing the huge breakout for Hendy. I'm just seeing just enough to make him like a little bit better. And half PPR, Henderson's also not housing anything. His catches are kind of not going for a ton of yardage. So I need to see one more breakaway play from that offense. It's close. By the end of tonight, when I have one more drink, it's gonna be Henderson, because I have such a steamy take on that game. Mason to me feels like if I had to give advice, I feel like more often than not, it's the safer play. But safe is no fun. So Mason's not having a crazy game. Let's put it that way. If you're chasing points, if you were playing me this week, because I started all the right guys this week, man. I picked up and played Tanjas. I played what's his face? I keep calling him Keishon Butte. No, not Kyron.
Oh, Tootin? You play?
No. Who's the wide receiver just went off on Thursday?
Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
I had Bourne in our Scotfish charity league, and I didn't play him. I'm so mad at myself.
Oh my! I played him. This was my bipocalypse, because I'm pretty heavy on
me too.
Bears.
Yeah, me too.
And I've got a lot of Packers. Sadly, I have a lot of Bears.
Likewise.
Packers. I got a lot of MC North, and so I'm buried. I had to start him. So if you're chasing a 24 points from a random flex this week, this is where I'm like, it's Henderson clearly, because Mason's touchdown upside just isn't there. But if you have the Josh Allen and they're chasing you, Mason's a safe play. But great question. I get why you're asking it.
And remember the guys that the Browns have faced. They aren't scrubs. Chase Brown, who we all predict, and this was before Burrow went down, he was going to be a stud and actually held him to almost nothing. Derrick Henry to almost nothing. Josh Jacobs did not do much. And then on top of that, Gibbs and Monty. I'm just saying, Gibbs and Monty, I think, were their biggest letdown, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's a tough, that's one of those things where you have no choice here. I mean, what was
if Henderson gets the snap share, if it's even just like 45%, it just feels like he's going to get there. I mean,
Gibbs was the only one that they couldn't hold, and they ended up holding Monty to 12. So I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not too scared about it. And I am scared about. Mason.
Check it out. He's down 55 to McCaffrey and Stafford. That makes it easier now.
And they're missing 3 offensive starting linemen for the Minnesota Vikings. So Minnesota is down 3 starting offensive linemen, and they're using backups for those 3. I am not in on Mason in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, we got there. I'm Henderson either way,
Yeah,
especially
Henry
if you're
and Dottle.
Yeah, and he's coming from behind, easy.
So standard scoring, we got Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Carter, or QT. I'm going QT.
Quentin Johnston.
Sorry, QJ, which is Quentin Johnston.
QJ, yeah, I'm going QJ for sure. I keep forgetting. I think Joe had to mention in the chat. We have Quinshon Judkins now. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, we
two
gotta be clear.
QJs. I'm just gonna say QJ's QJ. Okay, Quentin. We'll figure something else out for Judkins. I think Judkins is just gonna be Judkins. I think he's just gonna be that guy.
Oh,
yeah.
He had 55. He had McCaffrey and Stafford.
He's playing against a juggernaut that week who did the right thing there. Stafford, great spot start too. I did that a lot too. That was yeah.
So you're still holding
in his particular case because he's chasing, like he's definitely coming.
Oh, it's
from
Henderson
behind.
and Dottle.
Yeah, easy Henderson Dottle.
Yeah. Riders, what's going on, man? Great to have you back as always. He goes, what do you think about trading JT for Chase Brown and Mbuka? I have lost neighbors, still trying to get some lower depth at both positions. It's half PPR. I want to know if this is redraft or dynasty.
No,
it sounds like redraft.
Right, that's Egbuka alone is worth more than JT.
That's
not particularly well. It's closer now because JT's putting up points. No, I think this is a legit redraft question. I think he's doing that.
Yeah.
Do I take a tier down? Do I buy low on Chase Brown and get Egbuka because he's replacing neighbors in
I can't give up JT.
League?
I just can't give up JT.
Yeah, I mean, right. I'm trying to look through chat here. Who do you have to start at wide receiver? Like, are you so brutal that you're like starting Troy Franklin because you're heavy running back? If you're legitimately losing that many points per game, then I think it's the case of it's not that you love the trade, it's that you can't win doing what you're doing. So if you're forced into it, I would do it. But if you're even somewhat stable, I think I'm where Classic is at, where I see JT as probable like top 5, 10 overall fantasy finish at skill position, right? It's just gotta admit, I mean, he's also had some tremendously bad goal line luck too, and I feel like that normalizes. If Daniel Jones gets half of those rushes instead of all of them, just give JT 2 more touchdowns, and all of a sudden it's
so he has Marvin Harrison Jr. and Slayton.
Slayton is wide receiver 2. Yeah, okay, yeah, I would do it. There's no way, and there's not enough waiver potential left at wide receiver at this point. Wide receiver is what we figured out early on in waivers. Running back is now the spice, but there's no spice at wide receiver.
He has Golden too.
Okay, Matthew. Ooh, yeah. I mean, I believe in Golden a lot, so I do think you are starting Golden and Marv, which makes it a lot more palatable. I just don't actually think there's better days ahead for Chase Brown outside of a quarterback trade. I think it's going to be really mediocre and replaceable.
His line is horrible.
Right? Egbuka's fantastic, but by week 17, by Titletown, it's Evans and Godwin and Egbuka. And I think that makes Egbuka fantastic. But
we love you too there, Amazon. Anytime. And sorry, I'm not trying to take away from Riders, but he was trying to say I have Danny Dimes, Hampton, Jamar, Egbuka, Tyler Warren, all starting along with these guys. So you have a pretty good lineup with those guys in place. I think that's helpful. So, but back to Ryder's question.
I would do it in that particular. Well, no, if you're keeping Golden, I'm keeping JT at that rate because I believe in Golden. And I think the way to winning it with ultimate upside is Golden hits. JT's already there. You figure out flex. If you can't figure out flex, I guess I would.
You're going to have to take an L for a week or two. I mean, it's just one of those things where I can't see a world where I can do this.
I can't do it. I like the idea.
Mbuka's great. I'm not going to say that Mbuka isn't good. Chase Brown is the part of this equation that I don't like. And it's one of those things where Chase Brown is going to have a very rough time until they can get their shit together on the line and figure out what to do with this offense. You can view this as week 2 of preseason for them because of the concept that they're getting used to one another. And at the very end of the day, Chase Brown might have been behind these guys for a minute, but Browning doesn't know the offense. He audibles out. There's so many things that could happen. I'm at the point where I am pretty much Chase Brown's a low-end RB2 for me. You're getting a low end RB2 and a low end wide receiver 1. That's how I view these two for JT, who is top 3.
I would try to do a little bit better. Like, if that's what's on the table, I hate it, right? But if I could go after I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. I know running back's really tough right now, and that's why we're at
with
this
3
trade.
guys down. It kind of screws up the whole atmosphere.
If somebody will trade you Javonte, like if they think
Maybe.
Javonte is a sell high, some people are like Javonte is going to come back down to earth. I'm actually on like, no, I think he's.
I mean,
fine,
if you're looking for a wide receiver, find a team with a decent amount of wide receivers on it and go for that. Like, that's where you go and find some value, where you can get 2 solid wide receiver 2s. They're not going to make up anything Neighbors is, because Neighbors is Neighbors. Neighbors is not going to, you're not going to make up what you did with, what you had with Neighbors.
No, we could wait a week too, though, right? Like, hear me out. Half PPR. Slayton's actually a little bit better in half PPR anyway.
Well, I was going to say Slayton is going to have moments. He's going to have his days. They do view him as a 1. They have Wandell in the slot. They have Slayton on the outside.
Like, Slayton's contract.
They played him 3 years for 30-something plus. So, I mean, they're not. I mean, they gave him what they could have gave Saquon, but we can have that argument later. My whole point is that in this case,
really good.
Slayton isn't a horrible option moving forward, and he's going to be a viable. I don't want to say anything higher than a wide receiver 3, but he will be involved. This game especially, I think he'll be a little bit more involved going against New Orleans. So for right now, I think you hold, but I wouldn't do this deal yet.
I think you could at least, I think that's a really good point here. If we don't really know what Slayton looks like, what this offense looks like without Neighbors. Just like trade theory, though, it's like
this is going to be.
You can wait a week. We can wait a week on this trade, even if it maybe costs us a win for some reason. I would rather have the security of knowing what it is or isn't. Because if Slayton's all of a sudden pretty good, gets 8 targets, maybe catches a touchdown, you're like, good enough, right? And we don't need this trade at all. It could feel pretty bad. Half PPR is what's killing me. JT and half PPR is a league winner.
Yeah. For sure. And I mean, to give you a perspective of what I think the Giants offense is going to be for the next few weeks, I'm just going to skip the Wickeds thing and going, Mike, will the power of friendship and CTE from Scatterboo and Dart lead the Giants to glory? It's going to be Scatterboo and Dart. That's what this offense is going to be. It's going to be them running. And then
modern day Eagles, kind of in a weird way.
Quick little dump out passes every so often. They're going to try to get him involved. Dart's going to try to make a play every so often. He's going to screw up here and there. But at the end of the day, that offense is going to be like that. They're going to have him throw a dart down the field a little bit off. Yeah, I did it. Throw it down the field a little often, and then they're going to try to get him involved.
No shame, just throws it out right away.
Well, that's my point. Like, we'll see what happens there, but I honestly think that they kept him around for a reason, and it's not more than just him being, one of those guys, like a locker room guy, because everyone says he's a stand-up dude. He's a locker room dude, but he's actually a really good underrated player. So I think you're okay for now. Hold, you'll be fine.
Good question.
Noah Mitchell, BTJ, or Junkins rest of the season without any type of knowledge of what
format formats doesn't matter here, right?
No, that's my whole point. Junkins.
Answer me this though. Is that a pro BTJ take, or sorry, is it an anti BTJ take, or is it more of a pro Judkins take? If you had to pick one, is it pro Judkins or anti BTJ?
Anti BTJ. Okay. It's gotten to the point where I'm starting to question if it's BTJ, the offensive coordinator, or Trevor Lawrence. And when I view Trevor Lawrence, he doesn't look horrible. His line sucks. He's running all over the place, and it's
gotta
making
get Mac
crazy.
Jones in there, baby.
If Mac Jones can make him that good, there's a problem with Trevor Lawrence. Then that's my thing.
I think it is too, man. Get Mac Jones back there.
Hey, I mean, at this point, but that's the crazy part, though. The talent, we've seen the talent. We know it's there. Junkins is in a somewhat better of a scenario. He's let's all be real for 2 seconds. Dylan Gabriel is not the answer to the Browns' question.
Oh no, for sure.
Sanders is not the answer to their question. I'm going to throw that out there as well. I don't think Sanders is anything close to what they need. They will
Mac
hand
Jones
that
is.
ball off. Well, yeah, Mac Jones is the answer
Mac
to
Jones
all
just
questions.
is the answer. Give me that shirt. Somebody send it to me.
Oh my God, that's a great shirt.
Yes.
They are going to hand that ball off to Junkins until he can't run anymore. It is not there. You cannot tell me in any world that Dylan Gabriel is going to lead them to glory. It's not happening. I'm going to tell you right now, if anyone asks a question about Jerry Jeudy, it's going to be a no. If anyone asks me about Fannin, no. The only person for that team I'm going to even want to start is Junkins. And that's with the knowledge that that's all that's going to happen. And that's all that Flores is going to do is want to stop Junkins. I'm still picking Junkins. All right. Enough about BTJ and Junkins. I could go crazy off that. I like this one for this is one of Kendall's favorite. Drake May or Baker.
Oh, Drake May, dude. Just
I
I am so fired up about Drake May.
We're
getting what we thought was possible, which is all the rushing, right? Last week we didn't get all the attempts, but we got the rushing touchdown. Just willing to do what you got to do to get those rushing touchdowns in there is fantastic. You're also having he was I got to check the stats, but he was at 72% completion rate. He started the season with a hodgepodge of let's go run. We were doing the let's go run to the waiver wire to grab some guy from the Patriots at wide receiver. Like, when have we done that, guys?
Yeah,
it was Kayshawn, but like, forget the name. Just it's a guy that no one was drafting, and we were running to waiver wire to grab a Patriots wide receiver. We haven't done that in a minute, guys. Right? Yeah. Look at the confidence in that offense that we were all like, oh, we got to go grab Kayshawn. Like, this offense is real. Like, that's just the truth. So sign me up. As much as I like Baker, especially in 4-point touchdowns, it's definitely Drake May. When you get Mike Evans back, I think the touchdown ceiling for Baker and just him and his full guys still give me Baker. But Baker down a weapon, down 2 weapons, because Bucky's fantastic for what he does to the offensive. Just
White can be involved as well.
I just mean from an efficiency standpoint. You don't score touchdowns when you have to kick field goals and when you're not moving the chains, right? You just want touchdown upside, and you have to be at a position to throw a touchdown. And I think their offense just takes a hit. Losing Evans, losing Bucky, it's enough where he's more projected for 2 touchdowns versus 3. And if he only throws 2, give me the rushing floor of Drake May and a come from behind narrative against a team that averages 30 plus points.
I was just going to say that's probably my only positive take for Drake May is the concept that you're facing the Bills, you're underdogs by 8. The over-under for this game is 49. I mean, or you can use the other part of the narrative where they're going to get beat so bad that they're going to just pull him at one point. That offense for the Bills is crazy good. They're going to have a rough time against the Patriots because they always play them tough. I mean, the only thing that I can say against the Seahawks, Witherspoon's going to be out for this game. I'm okay against the Seahawks. The only bad part is they're going east to west. That's never fun. Thankfully, it's a 4:00 game. It's a little bit better. But with Witherspoon, what is this? DeMarcus Lawrence is out. Julian Love's out. Like, they have a bunch of injuries on that defense. I'm okay with playing Baker this week. Baker.
I like it because no matter who you're starting, that's a great problem to have, right? I have both those guys in my top 8 this week, And
I'll put it to you this way: Baker's scenario, they're underdogs by 3.5 comparatively to 8, which means it's tighter, and it means that they're more able to move the ball downfield. I just like Baker a little bit more. And their defense, the Seahawks defense currently is not doing well. They have a ton of injuries. I'm going to go Baker. Follow Rob Thomas. What's going on, man? Great. Oops, sorry. I was trying to click something else. What's going on, brother? Great to have you here today, as always. A kicker question. Fairbairn or Harrison Butker?
Kaimi or Butker?
To me, it's Chimeri. It's Fairbairn.
I'm gonna go Butker, but it's just because I think the Chiefs are going to get back to a pretty explosive offense, but they have a shit run game, so they actually could have red zone inefficiency from a purely the Chiefs kind of break numbers, right? But I see a team that should score. They should have a lot of yards. They should score a lot, but I actually think they could potentially have some red zone inefficiency because Travis Kelce is a little bit worse and they kind of have deep threat situations. So and their defense is good. It's a team that I think could, like, Butker is like the floor total points play. Kaimi is this team literally can't get in the red zone and they're going to have to kick a shit ton of 50-yarders, right? So I think that's kind of a thing there. But
let's just say that the opening line for this game was 3.5, where Ravens were favored. After the news of Lamar, who were the other three? Oh no, there was like 6. Like their whole defensive team went down. Like everybody on the Ravens is out. Like it is incredible. Like wait, okay, we got Kyle Hamilton questionable, Stanley questionable, Metabuke out. One of their Roquan Smith out. Like they're gonna actually be able to move the ball against the Ravens. In my opinion, they can get it down the field. I wish this was indoors; it would be an easier choice. But at the end of the day, it's Fairbairn for me. Even if they get stopped, I think they're gonna have enough momentum to get it down the field. They're hurt. They're gonna take it to them. It's now Houston's favored by 1.5. It's not a huge, but it's a good enough one to make me go, they're going to move the ball. They're going to get downfield. They're going to kick field goals. I'm good with it. It's a 40-point over-under, but could be all in Texans' favor. I'm going Fairbairn. And I think Fairbairn's a lot more accurate than Bucker because Bucker likes to hang out to the right. Oh!
Yeah. It's a rest of season question for me. If you were asking me like in a tight window, here's the thing. This is tough because I just answered a rest of season kicker question when I don't draft kickers rest of season. I play the matchup every single week. So
it's Fairbairn.
Don't listen to anything I just said. Like
fair enough.
I'm going to stream kicker every week based on weather, based on indoor, outdoor, based on how I think it's the game script is going to go. I want an ugly, messy defensive game with a lot of 50-yarders, and that is the Kaimi game script where I think that's going to happen. So yeah, don't listen to me.
The only other caveat, I forgot rest of the season. The only other caveat part of this is that the Texans play in a dome more than the Chiefs. Just remember that. They play Indy. They have their own dome. And the other two play in decent weather. So I am completely fine with playing Fairbairn. Regardless. Yeah. Albert, what's going on, man? He goes, White or Rico Dowdle full PPR. That's a huge difference for me.
Wow. Rashad White or Rico Dowdle full PPR. I'm Rashad White. I think he's a more talented NFL player. It is an offense I trust significantly more from a 100%. Floor ceiling perspective. One team has Baker Mayfield and just that continuity of the coaching staff. Baker, Rashad White already was a top 12 running back. Rico's not that guy on a team that has game scripts that involve literally not scoring a point, which is crazy. It's Rashad White for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go White. I do like Dowdle. I'm not going to say I don't. I have Dowdle ranked one spot higher, but that doesn't mean anything to me. This is half point. When we do our rankings, they're all half point. Full PPR, White would be ahead. It's White. He's more involved in the passing game in general. So I'm going to go White. So Benjamin goes, I'm facing same in another league. Oh, he was talking about let me see.
He's answering someone else's question, I think.
Okay.
The chat talking with chat. It's been dynamic today. I
always
awesome.
love that.
Joe's been in there. It's fun because I always find like our Discord has some very sharp brains in it, and it's nice when your chat answering questions. It's like, oh, actually, it's a sharp person who's doing.
Oh, sorry. So the only reason why I skipped you there, Tyler, he's not going to be out. He's not. I don't see him being out for this game. It's a 1:00 game, so check back with me on Sunday morning. Yeah.
I'm McLaughlin on that combo though, for sure.
I honestly do not. I do not think he will be out. Let me just do some math here. From what I can tell, usually you can tell everything based on their particular practice schedules and things like that. He's listed as questionable. Let me just get one more thing to do my final little thing, which will tell me everything, which is the injury report. And the injury report has him did not practice Wednesday, which is normal, and limited both days. He's fine. He should be out there. And if he's not, it's 1 o'clock. You should have plenty of options at 1 o'clock.
He still practiced twice though, where you're worried about
point.
missing an entire practice. And when you practice limited twice, even just from like pretend you're an athlete, right? If you can get out there a little bit, but you're limited, that makes a lot of sense. If it ever escalates to we had to fully stop the presses, that's when you have to be extremely careful, right? Because even like a limited after a didn't practice on Thursday is different. Wednesday, no one practices. So
no one does.
Thursday limited doesn't mean anything. But if you go Thursday, don't practice, Friday limited, what I'm saying is, but it's limited. No, now it's troublesome because there was a full DNP on a day that matters. Yeah. That's the situation to monitor. It's not in this case. Just to give you a little more in depth there. This is not
and to be honest, I tell people this all the time. No one should be stressing out about a guy being out on Wednesday. No one, and especially a vet. If it's a rookie, okay, maybe you want and he's like just starting to get ready, maybe. But like, what we've seen with Brock Bowers is like the rare exception to the rule where normally if you're not practicing on Wednesday, that means that you're going to be practicing throughout the week. They're going to ramp you up and everything's going to be fine. If you hear tomorrow, so if you're in our Discord, you should be, because I'll post about things like that where like they go through walkthroughs on Saturday morning. Remember, they're in New Orleans this week. They are home. That's another part of the narrative that you should look at when you're looking at the injury report. They're at home. So for them, it's a little bit easier. They're there. They might do a walkthrough. They're going to probably have some type of presser and say, that he's good to go. Keep an eye on Adam Schefter. He will say something Sunday night. They always do. Him and Ian Rappaport pretty much post at like 11 p.m. on Saturday night into Sunday morning, especially with an early game. They always get out things quicker because they got to work. They got stuff to do. So they're going to get that stuff out much earlier. You're going to see reports about that earlier. I will be 100% sure that he's playing, but if he's not, it's okay. There's going to be plenty of guys on the waiver that you could pick up and play without a problem, especially in most leagues. I can see it. But
honestly, DM either of us or hit us on Classic Show. I'll literally tell you based on your exact waiver who I would
100%
start. And I've got to do a crap ton of that myself. I'm telling you, I have Juwan Johnson in a couple of leagues legitimately. I haven't even made backup plans. I think maybe Goddard and worse is on the waiver wire, and a ton just that no one played. So it's pretty dusty on there. I'm just leaving Juwan out, and if something bad happens, I'm gonna have to make a pretty gross start myself. So I'll be in there with you if I have to.
So like I said, come back on Sunday if you want to know that. I'm going to be, rattling that off at 11:30 on top of watching the games at the same time. I know people would rather watch the game than me, but I get that. I'm just going to be here to be able to give you that info prior to. I get all the alerts right up to game time. I know what's going on right ahead of time. I can give you alerts even when they come in right now, but I haven't had any. So just keep an eye on it. But like I said, in any scenario, not just Juwan Johnson, I'm talking about anybody. Wednesday practice means nothing to me. Thursday and Friday mean the most. Limited is usually better. I mean, of course, limited full is great. Full to limited is one that I don't like as much, but could still play. They're just going to be a little bit banged up and might have less. So it's really just knowing those little nuances, checking injury reports prior. Saturday is your day. You should be checking all those things. That because they have to have their lineups, like in general, they have to have everything set before the Sunday game. They have to have it done before 4. So just know that as well. They have to have everything in by 4 because they have to know who's in, who's out, who's whatever. And it's 4 o'clock Eastern, which means that teams on the West Coast have until 4. So they have until technically 7 on East Coast time for those West Coast teams. So just don't stress. It's going to be okay. We got you. So Amazon Pancakes goes, are you guys liking Bucker or McLaughlin better at kicker this week?
McLaughlin.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
I think he's a better kicker. I followed McLaughlin a little bit. Phil also followed him a little bit. We followed the soccer player kicker guys. Just a great talent. And I think that offense is going to more consistently be in a better position.
Yeah, I like it. I like McLaughlin a little bit. Bucker never really. I mean, in his early career, I liked Bucker a lot. He's kind of fell off after he had a couple of big injuries, that kind of threw things off a little for me. Good offense, but I'd rather have McLaughlin.
Yeah, this was also when the Chiefs were like literally the number one offense
in
the league.
exactly.
And we weren't saying Butker's great. We were saying it's the best offense. It was the same reason we started the Bills kicker before we realized, he's actually, well, I can go both ways in that. He's also missed some pretty bad kicks too, to be honest with you. But as it was, hey, you draft the number one offense kicker, right? But Baker and those guys are a top 5 offense, and they tend to kick better.
So we got Joe Ortiz going. Oh, we really at this point, Henry, Javonte Williams, Chase Brown, Harvey, or Rashad White start 2.
Ooh. Actually, this isn't particularly hard for me though. Is it Javonte's your for
Javonte's
sure
a lot.
One? Yeah. And then from there, Henry's only in consideration in tight end premium, where again, that 2 to 3 point bump is just worth a lot in math, but not here, right? I'm going Rashad White. I'm going Javonte Rashad for sure here. I'm not really thinking twice.
You're benching Henry?
I'm thinking tight end Hunter Henry.
That's why I was waiting.
Henry.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting.
Oh, no, that's just silly then. No.
I heard you say tight end. I figured I'd give you a minute to catch your breath.
No, yeah, I'm Derrick Henry Javonte for sure. Look, Derrick Henry, you got to take your medicine along with the 30-point games. It's gonna happen. It's highly volatile, but no, I'm still going Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Javonte and Henry for me. I can't not play those two. Chase Brown is just not having the games you want. Harvey is still gaining, respect. And on top of that, Rashad White is the only other guy that I would play, over Henry. But that's like, I'm not advising anybody to do such a thing. I would play Henry like 9 times out of 10 in most of these.
Part of my reasoning for Henry, though, is just we're bashing on the Ravens a lot for
they're going to
be. We bash bad teams for the things we're bashing
bad.
The Ravens about. Historically, the Ravens almost never have a bad defense, and they're awful right now. Would I bet that they turn the ship around, even with backup players with good coaching?
It's going to be 2 weeks of bad.
It might be 2 weeks of bad, but
it's going to be 2 weeks of bad. And here's my only thing.
I actually don't. I know.
I'm actually thinking about starting Justice Hill in some leagues.
Oh, you think it's that bad?
Because Derek doesn't get on the field unless they're up. It just doesn't happen. There is no way in hell.
You think the Cooper Rush situation is really going to tank it, huh?
Think about it. Okay, Derrick Henry can run through any 8-man box. I'm not really worried about him and his ability to do that. But if you have a Cooper Rush behind you, the reason why Henry is so effective is the RPO. It just makes things so much easier for him to do. Cooper Rush can't do that. And Cooper Rush isn't anything close to Lamar. Can Cooper Rush run? Of course he can. But he's not like Lamar. And he's not scaring anybody. So for me, and especially Houston, they are a formidable defense. And especially with their front seven is actually really good. Their secondary is really good too. I'm at the point where I don't mind not playing Henry, but it's so hard for me not to. Like I have, to give you perspective, I have Henry in a league where I have a choice between Henry and Keenan Allen.
Ooh, spicy.
And it's full PPR. I'm at the point, spicy. But I'll put it to you this way. I have Gibbs. I have Gibbs, JT, and a bunch of other guys. I even have Javonte too.
Keenan Allen just has such a safe floor ceiling combo. Man.
Well, understood. But for something like this, I don't feel horrible playing a guy like Rashad White, who's involved in the passing game. It is standard scoring, so that's the only like nuance that I'm like a little bit okay with playing Henry.
Well, I don't know that it was clear. That was a huge part of my answer when I was like, "Oh, Derrick." The reason the first words out of mouth was that silly is
because of the
Derrick
touchdown.
Henry in standard scoring is like he's the guy that can have 18 carries.
Yeah.
For like, you remember the Chase Brown the other day? Chase Brown has 1.8 yards per carry, right?
Tater Todd, just to answer your question, yes,
definitely. I'm going Henry because he can have 2 touchdowns with 30 yards. Like he's going to get the rock. And because Lamar can't run it in, nothing else is happening. They can't risk throwing it. Like,
I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous they're going to just pivot to Justice Hill and give Henry 2 weeks of a break.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's my only downside. But
if you're telling me this is, well, actually, I was thinking floor ceiling combo where like Henry could have a disastrous game.
If this is the
chances
week
he has a blow up game, though, Henry does not score. I think the chances Henry has 20 fantasy points is extraordinarily small. So
yeah.
With that being said, if you're chasing points, I think you need a big game from like Rachaad White and Javante's just too consistent.
Javante is a lock. The other, I think White
Javante's
is not a horrible option just because even in the passing game, he can score.
Yeah. His history says in this spot, like Henry's had some bad games, but it's standard. It's just like it's those PPR catches just don't matter as much. Close, but
yeah. I gotta. My last thing I'm gonna look at real quick because I want to see what Houston is against run, but I think you can run against Houston. The last I checked, Houston is 12th best against running backs this year.
And they're better against the pass than they are the run. You know.
Hey man, I'm good with either one of those. That's a tough one, man. Ooh, you guys give us some tough one here. And he asked, what do we think about Kansas City this week against Jacksonville? I don't hate it.
I like it for the sacks. I think Trevor Lawrence has just lost his mind when it comes to that.
There's a bunch of other guys I'd rather do.
Yeah, I think there's other.
Wait. This is a good nuance to know. It's Rachaad White. I'm sorry, Rachaad White.
Double points for RB receiving yardage.
White.
Okay, that changed that real fast.
I'll bench.
I think his over under for receiving yards is probably in the high 20s.
Yeah.
Like conservatively, I could see a line of like 26, 27 yards, and I would take the over on that. So you're telling me I get to pencil in 6 standard points for him? Yeah, that's too free.
Yeah, that's free. I'm gonna.
It also means if Derrick Henry ever catches a single screen pass to the house, it's throwing it out there.
The Kansas City D I'm okay with. I prefer a couple other teams overall, but I'm fine with that. You're not going to find anything better on the waivers.
I prefer guys like the Cardinals and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
me too.
But...
Yeah, I played the Cardinals this week. So Jay Money, what's up, man? He goes, "What up?" Debo flew with the team. Yes, he did. But was held out all week. Should I play him if he goes? They did say they're optimistic for him going. He's the only guy there. Terry's not there. Noah's not there. They're pretty short. Jaden's back. I think they're going to try to get him involved one way or another. I'd lower your expectation, but he'll be there. He's dealing with a heel injury. So he goes, for my flex, I just picked up Rico Dowdle. I also have Stephon Diggs. Who would you flex?
Full PPR.
Dowdle for me.
If it's full PPR, I'm going Diggs.
Yeah, I mean,
and if it's half PPR,
yeah, I'll go with that.
I might be so into Diggs that I've got to go Diggs twice. Wow.
No, I'm gonna go with the other way. If it's half, I'll go Dowdle. Full, I'll go.
Yeah, no, half. I am going Dowdle. I had to look at my rankings real quick, but yeah.
So he says I could just sit Debo and play Stephon and Rico in my. Yeah, do that. I would do that.
I think that's the safest play, to be honest. So a heel injury, it is one that has a decent chance of getting aggravated in the game. Debo plays one way. It's the way to avoid a goose egg because he just got knocked out of the game.
Chargers are second best against the run. I'm using that concept and they're fourth against the pass. Yeah. Rico and Diggs.
Yeah, I like that as a safe play. Yeah. If Debo blows up, I still think we can all go in and out of that performance saying look, we were literally talking about if he's going to play or not before he exploded. Of course, we can forgive ourselves if he does, right? And it's probably going to be off of broken play, which is hard to predict.
Yeah, all my updates in the Discord say he's playing, but I feel a lot better and a lot, it's just a better feeling at the end of the day. So World of Guz, sure. He's 0-4. What move should I be making? Baker, Genty, Junkins, Adams, Nico, McBride, and Buka. Bench is Benson, Bill, Darnold, Fannin, Henderson, Slayton, and Tootin. This doesn't sound like a horrible team.
Jenkins.
I think it's really just Jenton and Junkins who
Nico's been killing you, but that should regress to the mean.
And it's really based on who you're playing, and who you're playing. You're probably it's a good overall team. I like the Baker and Mbuka combo. I like the
Nico
concept.
Adams, Mbuka, wide receiver,
and got McBride. So my assumption is he went Genty, McBride.
It's got to be a 10-team league, I think. It is
Genty, McBride, Nico, and then Adams, and then later on got Mbuka, and got all these other guys. So yeah, I mean, there's not much you can really do until everything kind of works itself out.
You don't need a QB up tier. It's not great value.
QB up tier is going to be spending too much.
Baker doesn't have enough hype to down tier, which oftentimes down tier is a good solution when you have a hole, but it's not a good solution when you don't have a hole and you're looking to upgrade. I don't see any glaring weaknesses, Mike, right? I think we like the roster overall.
Yeah.
So the play here is there any flips that we just like as can we get 5% value from it? Who would be your one or two favorite guys to look to flip for just names that you like better? Does anything stick out to you?
No, because you're not going to get much. There's nothing you're going to get from this. I
want to keep Henderson because if he fully breaks out, then he's your flex rest of the way.
His biggest issue has been Genty. That's his biggest. I can guarantee it.
I mean, Devontae Adams has been a little bit disappointing, but
he's still involved. And you're still able to play Nico and Mbuka, and then you can play guys like he probably had Benson for the week. You can still throw in Henderson, or you can throw in Henderson and Slayton every so often. I honestly like the team. I don't think there's much you can do at this point. You can maybe upgrade at running back, but honestly, you're not going to upgrade too much.
I mean, I'm trying to. The only thing I can think of, Bud, here is you need to take a massive swing. The best way to take a massive swing that you can is you need to go and buy somebody who is massively underperforming that has an unreal ceiling. Guys that come to mind are like BTJ comes to mind, and I'm not saying he hits. I'm saying you're 0-4. You need a hell of a dart throw. It's not going to be a high percentage play because we can't afford it. You need if anything. The play could be to do nothing, but if you're
my play,
we all know what it's like to be like, yes, but I can't sit and watch paint dry. I would rather go down swinging. I get it, right? Let's whiskey up and do it. If you just are like, I can't do nothing. I've been there. I think it's probably BTJ. He's the biggest name that isn't doing literal anything. You're too good at running back. Henderson's your RB3. I don't see. And RBs are banged up. No one's going to trade you an RB. RBs are bad buys. The best way to buy a running back is 2 weeks early on the waiver wire and then just be right. You can't buy them otherwise necessarily. People will sell wide receivers they're just pissed off with, though. That happens. That's realistic. Mike, do you have a better name at wide receiver that it's not likely, but it's an outside chance to be like, holy crap, they're back or they're doing something we didn't anticipate?
Worthy.
Is Rasheed Rice the owner? No, you can't get Rasheed Rice. It's too many weeks. You'll lose.
I was going to say Jordan Addison.
Jamar Chase? Is the Chase owner ready to bench him?
Maybe.
It's not my favorite name because the owner still wants too much usually. But
I'm surprised we haven't gotten more about Chase in this one.
Yeah. I think that's smart, though. I mean, I'm not.
The other, Alec maybe.
Minor. I don't know if any owners are really what are you selling for?
Chris Olave maybe because the team.
Maybe I could see that. I could see Zay Flowers. I could see Brian
can't.
Thomas.
No,
I could
Zay
see
Flowers with
Lad
the Cooper
McConkey
Rush.
owners are real
Lad
like, what the hell?
McConkey. Yeah, those are some guys that I would target. If
Jamison Williams, I think that
another
like,
guy, Cortland Sutton, very
yeah.
underrated, very up and down weeks here and there. I mean, you might want to wait a week, but
In order to
if you
get value,
can.
the idea is they can't be popular. If it's a popular player,
well, that's what I
they're
mean.
not going to
Sutton's
sell.
not that popular.
Yeah, Sutton's unpopular.
You can't go Pickens; he'll be back.
Debo might not be good enough, but I think McLaurin's. If Debo's healthy and McLaurin's not, Debo
McLaurin's
has the
going to be out
ability
for
to
2 weeks. McLaurin isn't on IR, but he's going to be out for 2 weeks.
I'm saying Debo's cheap enough that you could pull it off for not much.
Yeah,
Other
but
than
you're
that,
not.
I think we gave you the names. That we're just out of names though. It is Debo.
Yeah, we're out of names that are going to be effective for you.
JMO, Ladd, BTJ, Sutton.
Yeah, that's about it.
Maybe AJ Brown, but
yeah. Sorry, brother. I would hold, and just there's not much you can really do for now.
Yeah. If any of those names we mentioned, you are like, oh, actually, I like that guy. Yeah. It's hard to say who you'd trade though, because I like your lineup. So who am I trading away? Mike, can you just tell him who's your favorite trade away candidate to tier up? Do you have a trade away candidate on this team? If you had to pick one,
no. I mean, trading away, you can maybe make an argument for Nico, or you wait for an Adams good game and trade him away, but you can't really give away Mbuka. You can't really do McBride unless you feel the need or if you feel Fadden is really good, and because then you're going to lose a tier. You're going to lose a big tier there. Gente is the other one where you can sell him now, but the problem because of the concept that everyone needs a running back and you can grab something good for that, but then you're short at running back. So I'm at the point where I'm just holding as much as I can. If people want to make offers, I'll listen to them, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just didn't want to give him here's some trade ideas. No, I'm not going to tell you.
There's nothing you can do. You're on
Nico.
4.
It is Nico for me. Nico has the most he's awesome, but 12 targets might never be anything for him. If you can tier up outside of Nico, it's not a tier up though, because if you're selling Nico, you're basically saying, hey, I'm going to take a bet that this other guy rises from the ashes in a bigger way than Nico. But
I have Nico ranked in top 10.
You probably should just keep Nico. If I have to tell you to sell one, it is Nico, though.
Unfortunately. So Sadness is life. What's up, man? He goes, picked up Woody Marks in 6 of my leagues. The biggest name I had to give up was Algier winning. Jesus. Good for you, my friend.
That's going to be a good. It's gonna be a good year, man. We will expect some taxes by the end of the year if you can allocate some. But dude,
that'd be great. Sick. So Nino goes kind of got an ugly one. That's all we've had tonight there, Nino. Keep in Michael Carter and Alec in over Pacheco and Harvey. It's full big play bonus. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, no, for sure. I would.
Alec is going to probably be the lead guy for the remaining time. I don't like Cam Ward, but he is getting targeted and catching the ball well every week. I am going to go Alec and Carter.
Yeah, it's more RJ Harvey versus Michael Carter is kind of close.
I mean, I would be okay with Alec and Harvey if you can do that. Maybe not this week. I would probably play Carter this week.
Look at the matchup details. That one's pretty close. It might actually be RJ over Michael Carter.
Just barely. Let me see who I have.
No, it's Tennessee. I'm going Michael Carter.
Yeah.
The chances he falls in the end zone. So
yeah, I was just going to say, I have Carter at 27. I have Pacheco at 33, and I have Harvey at 37. Yeah, I'm sticking with my original thought process. So yeah, I would go with the Carter and Alec one. Sadness goes, started Williams last night as my RB1, winning. Good for you, my friend. So did I in about 100 different leagues that I have that have him.
Nice.
Kind of joking, but thoughts on dropping Ridley even in a 10 man league? The wide receiver waiver wire is nauseating. I am not against dropping Ridley. I like Alec a little more. I think he, like I just said, I think he can be a formidable wide receiver moving forward. It's really according to who's on the waiver that I'm willing to. If there's somebody that I need to drop for, like if there's a Dottle out there, I might do it. I might. If White's out there, I might do it.
Yeah, there's definitely names I would. I wouldn't for the flash in a pan, let's see what we have, guys.
No, it's the guys that you know what you're getting.
Yeah, you got to be pretty sure about the name. It's a name you're going to have for a long time. If you're just doing the spot start thing, like Ridley in 2 weeks could be back. Ward could be better in 2 weeks. Like we just don't know in a 2 week window. So just be sure of it. There's bench stashes that Ridley's just a lot better than. So be a little.
Kendrick Miller is a big one. So
yeah, I'd probably keep Ridley over some low tier bench stashes, like for RB. There's the RBs that like Kendrick Miller is kind of a name where I'm like, oh, if he gets all the work, you think he's getting all the work and Devin Neal's not doing anything? I don't think so. I don't think the offense is good enough to support like a running back doing anything. The Cardinals situation is kind of like I would rather.
They have four running backs that have done it before. They have DeErnest and Bam all started at one point in their life.
All solid, right? So in that case, that's I would wait on Ridley.
It's murky, but I mean, you can wait on Ridley all you like. That's fine. But if I saw a guy like Rico Dottle or Rashad White on my waiver,
if I saw those guys,
it's
no question. You know how some people do though. There's I'm going to keep holding. Like I wouldn't be holding Dylan Sampson, Ollie Gordon anymore for if I could keep Ridley or something like that. There's just it's a name game. But in 10 team. There's some names, and in 10 team, I bet it's probably a drop because there's just going to be some good shit in 10 team that you can go pick up.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. So Perry, what's up, man? Perry goes, should I trade Jacobs for Judkins and Jacoby? I'm weak at wide receiver, and I'm 1-3, and Jacobs is on a bye. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it just because of the bye week fill-in option.
Interesting.
I would find a different reasoning for it, but also he loses a week. What's the theory with the concept of trading the guy?
Well, the whole thing is Judkins. You're going to lose Judkins for a week, so it's still a net neutral play.
That's what I mean. Yeah, okay. So you're not gaining a week or anything.
There's a situation where your guy is going on bye, and you're trading for a guy who's already had his bye, and you pick up like a potential free win.
That's what I was trying to say is like, it's not anything like that. So, I mean,
I do like Judkins a lot rest of season.
I do too.
Pass catching for Jacobs has just been kind of sick though.
And
is it too much? Is this do you view that the distance is pretty big between those two running backs to the point where like we got to be adding a serious weapon on top? I'm also curious if it's 2 wide receivers or 3. If it's 2 wide receivers, I always think there's a solution. If it's 3, I get what it's like to have to start something super gross, and the week over week PPG starts to add up.
Yeah, Perry, 3 wide receivers. Let us know what it is, because honestly, I'm probably not doing that. Just even if I need a wide receiver, I can't do it with those options. I just can't. Jacobs is too valuable to me.
It's close. Perry, I'm more on Mike's side, but if you're telling me it's full PPR, 3 wide receiver, double flex, to the point where in that format, that 3rd wide receiver spot can be pretty difficult. That's where I think it's an acceptable point to do it. I think it's not a slam dunk though. It is a little bit.
So he says that's my feeling rest of the season. I think Judkins can match. Okay. I mean, I don't think I'm not saying that he can't, but I mean, if we look at their schedule moving forward, let's just look at the schedule real quick. We got Vikings this week. They don't have a bye after being in London. Well, screw that. They have the Steelers the week after. They have 1, 2, 3 favorable matchups in the coming weeks. Those are Dolphins, Steelers, and Patriots are good run defense. Like those are teams you can run on. Sorry. Jets after that, Ravens. They're beat up. Yeah. I don't hate it. I like Jacobs too much. It's hard for me to say that.
The correlation here is Judkins is doing pretty good right now, but we are expecting the quarterback rotation to start in Cleveland. We don't think their offense is very good. Yeah. The idea is over the course of 10, 20 years of looking at fantasy at a pretty deep level, the idea is running backs just don't finish as an RB1 in bad offenses. They just don't happen. So Judkins is going to be good, but his ceiling is super capped. We don't see it almost ever where you get an RB1 performance out of a team that's bottom 2 or 3, and they're legitimately fighting for the 101 in some instances, even with that defense.
So in this case, it's too wide.
It's
so
a
he's
little
got
bit
2 and 2
wide for me.
Well, I'm saying he has 2 wide receiver.
Without need that third wide receiver to the point where I think you're shedding too much PPG. And in 3 wide receiver, the waiver wire is impeccably thin at wide receiver, where at 2 it's a little bit more palatable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. Jacobs could be a top 5 RB. It's probably projected to be so. It's just because they have a good offense and a good defense. That combination is going to lead to so many free touchdowns it'll win you.
Yeah. 100%. I just can't do it yet. I can't make that trade yet.
Yeah.
So
I think the JT one was closer. I think that one was farther away than the JT for Chase Brown
one is much
Egbuka trade. Because Jacoby is he's good, but his targets have also come down.
Fair enough. So Tater Tot, what's going on, man? Great to have you here today. He goes, I'm heavily contending in a 12-man Dynasty League. Good for you. He says, Christian McCaffrey, JJ, HN, Rice Hampton. I just lost neighbors. I'm so sorry. As you can see, I am mourning. Giants fan. I just lost neighbors. What would you ship out neighbors for? Oh, I don't think I would ship out neighbors for anything.
Well, I hate to say that, Tater. Here's the problem with this in this format is
not in Dynasty.
In order to answer this question, the only way I'm comfortable answering it is I need you to hop into Discord, because I would need to see your entire lineup. I need to know your draft capital in the next 2 years. I need to know what you mean by heavily contending, because I'm taking you at your word for it, but also it's a Dynasty question, so I got like a long-term draft capital responsibility to verify that I think you're contending the way you're at, to know what tier of player to go after. And I don't know what picks I'm dealing with. Every single player, I could give you general targets for a flip, but I'm mostly talking about names that I think are good value buys based on over and under like market perception mistakes. That's pretty much it. It's not I can't go past that. There's just not enough information for me to go past it.
I'm not doing it, and the reason is because of the format. I'm not dropping or trying to ship him out for anything. Not trying to do anything at the moment. Not trying to do. He is a young receiver that has very good promise moving forward. He should be back week 2 at the very latest. He should be fine. I'm not too stressed out. In the context of injury, season-ending injuries, ACLs are pretty much a sprained ankle at this point. They'll fix it. He'll be fine. He'll come back. I'm not too worried about it. Here's my thing. You're trying to get rid of him to do better. I understand it. That's not the way to go about it. There are other options. Like Kendall said, we have our Discord. Since I haven't seen your name before, which is great because I love getting new people. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing if you haven't already. But we have our Discord below. This is a great community of great people. All these people in the chat mostly are in it. Please jump in. We have a Dynasty trade channel just for you. And this could be a helpful situation. You can give us our full team, send us a picture of your team, your picks, all that stuff. Kendall will help you out. It's very easy. Love the group. So just
last little thing I'll just mention here is, here's the thing. I have neighbors so high. The only trades that make sense for me, straight up, because here's why this takes a longer answer, just in a nutshell, right? You're down tiering. You're not up tiering. You can't go like, let me sell it. So you're selling a player, right, to a team that wants its draft picks, right?
Correct.
But if you're down tiering, then like I'm looking at targets I like here, and I'm saying BTJ is for me is still a good target, but you're competing, so you actually need points, which might be tough to come by. So my other all these teams need to be rebuilding to some extent, right? But Garrett Wilson is a guy I could tear down to a little bit. Maybe the Rashee Rice owner isn't as confident
you would
anymore.
Need that plus.
Exactly. You're adding that plus an asset. You're adding that plus more than a first. Why would a rebuilding team? It's very difficult to pull this off in a way that makes sense.
Helps you this season.
So Tater Tot, let me just also be real with you. I'm the neighbors guy in like a third of my dynasty leagues. I've lost
Likewise.
neighbors. I'm heavily content. So Phil's league, the one Phil's always talking about in chat. I lost neighbors in both of them. It's a brother-sister league. I traded 3 firsts for neighbors in one. I drafted him in the other. I lost him in both. Here's exactly what I did. Okay. In one league, I had done a year 1 rebuild. So I have neighbors, but I also have a lot of first round picks. I had the capital because I was set up for it. I went out and spent every last bit of draft capital I had, and I bought Puka Nacua, and I bought low on Jamar Chase. I spent up. I didn't really buy low. I had to pay 5 first rounders for all this, more actually, plus Xavier Worthy. So my solution was I'm just going to make a big buy however I can, but I had the capital. I didn't use neighbors and I never considered it though. Okay. In the other league, I did a short term. I didn't want to make a big spend. I wanted to find a smaller, the rest of my team is quite good. So I ended up buying Michael Pittman for a second, essentially. I think it was Jaden Blue in a second. And I think I still overspent a little bit, but I just needed some underrated PPG from a guy that no one really sees a long 2-year plus window, but they see a 1.5 year window and they're fine selling. That's the play I recommend. Find a value-based second, maybe second and a third type of a buy. So that's what I would target. If the Jalen Waddle owner is rebuilding, I think he's kind of a value play that you can go get that could be a PPR menace. That could be quite solid. Also, I don't know why you don't have Wan'Dale Robinson on your team. All through the practice windows, right, in the preseason, we always know that if you own neighbors, you know he's a guy that's like eternally questionable. Okay, like he just lives in that questionable realm. I made sure to go spend a second on Wan'Dale, which I think you should probably get a 4th back for at least. But I did because he was my neighbor's handcuff. So I think you could overspend on Wan'Dale and easily get a pretty good PPG replacement, and it's a long-term useful asset on your team. Waddle, and we already got some other names there. So get in the Discord. I will send you paragraphs of answers. That's the most minutes I can give you tonight. But I hope Classic will tell you if he doesn't shut me up, I will keep going.
I actually wrote a really long post the other day where I had to basically say that I wasn't you because I needed it to be
from the
clear.
main channel. Yeah,
it was. Funny.
That was fun. We should do a poll. We should both anonymously from the main channel. I'll log in as the main channel. We'll both answer a question. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. We're doing this.
So Amazon Pancakes goes, I dropped Brashard Smith for Rico. Perfect. Just have so many injuries with Bucky and Benson out. I know Smith is just a stash now, but a very possible league winner moving forward. I see him as being someone that could be viable down the road, but right now he's not someone that I'm willing to keep over a guy like Dottle. It's just not going to happen. Sadness for Life says, I had a funny brownie and I'm starting Justin Fields over Baker. Honestly, I don't blame you, bro. I do not blame you. His rushing upside is crazy high. The game isn't horrible against Cowboys. Go for it.
You're not that crazy. I went through a crazy theory crafting session. It was I'm not going to do this, but I actually want to do the mental exercise for the questions. I have Jalen Hurts. I've been very concerned about Jalen Hurts. I've been telling a lot of people in Dynasty circles to tear down. I was considering starting Justin Fields over Jalen Hurts because I am coming from behind. I'm not favored. And I thought the chances that Justin Fields' good game is better than Jalen Hurts' good game. It just is, man. Like Jalen Hurts rushing for 2 touchdowns and throwing for 1. Justin Fields will rush for 2 touchdowns and throw for 2.
Faster too, and he's a lot more shifty, and Hurts gets that
without a defense. Like he has to do it all day, man. Jalen Hurts, there is no fourth quarter for the Eagles. Like they have to play an elite team on a good day for the fourth quarter to matter for offense in fantasy circles, right? They slow the game down too much too. Yeah, I don't think that's silly at all. I think it's honestly a close one.
So Amazon Pancakes goes, Scary Terry worth stashing. I'm worried his injury is way worse than we know. They're looking for a second opinion. It's going to be at least 2 more weeks. They, they didn't want to put him on IR yet because they weren't, really ready to. I agree with you. It is a little weird. I feel a little unsure. Am I holding? Yes. I'm going to keep him on my bench and kind of do my thing, with throwing him on my IR every so often. So for now, I'm holding. He's definitely worth stashing once he gets back. but they've had a ton of injuries right now. They're trying to figure it out too. Give it a second. I think it's gonna be okay, but I would definitely have some type of.
Do you not have IR spots or like my?
Oh my God! One guy, I saw something in the chat. I'm like, you don't have an IR. Like it didn't sound like he had an IR. I'm like, just put him in the IR and pick up this guy.
Yeah. Well, like so, it's like to just like my personal situation is I have a lot of Ayuk, and I unfortunately I was like, oh, I'll take some Mixon shares and put them in IR. And I did a lot of Mixon and Ayuk. And a lot of these teams are good, but in some of these teams, I also lost Kittle and others. But the ones I don't, I'm at the point where I have these IR out candidates that I could stash for multi-weeks. I'm at the point where I'm still stashing Ayuk because of his situation. Everyone else is injured. Like there's a real narrative where Ayuk comes back and is healthier than the other guys.
If I have 2 IR spots, I'll do that. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Honestly, I'm keeping Terry over a lot of other guys.
I couldn't draft Joe or Ayuk in any of my leagues because I already have it in my brain they're not playing this year. And even if they do play, the rare exception that they do, they better be the guy that I thought they were at that pick at the time. They have to be at their ceiling at the point when I need them most in the playoffs. And that's where I'm like, I hope they are, but I have no idea if that's going to be the case. And it's not worth it for me when I could pick somebody else that I know can help me now and help me get to the point where I need to be. And because it's not going to help me long term. It's going to, well, you would think it would, but it's not. It's just not. I couldn't find a way to do it. I couldn't do it. Matt C, what's going on, man? He goes, hey guys, what up? He goes, half PPR redraft. Okay. Got offered Addison for Rashad White. Would you take Jordan?
If I can afford it, yes.
If I can afford Jordan, I'd take him.
There's a lot of instances, I'll be honest, where I'm like, yeah, but like maybe I'm 1-3 and I need Rashad White in his production, and I think it's better. And like if I'm down running back, so I need running back. It's really anyway. There's a lot of cases where you should know. Like the situation will for sure be like, I'm pretty screwed. Is this too much value? The answer is it's not too much value. But if your team's even remotely stable, then yeah, dude, go get Addison. I think the offense in general is just going to see better days and better matchups. Addison's
and I
great.
hope they keep Winston.
There's just a lot of worlds where Addison is very good on that team. He doesn't have to be. He could be low targets again, like that could happen, but it doesn't have to. He's got a real path to being pretty lethal.
Yeah, I like Jordan Addison, and he's healthy. So will DJ Moore ever show up to the game? He's been garbage all season. I agree.
He hasn't been garbage,
but he has been underproducing what people thought he might.
He's been garbage for fantasy. I don't know that.
Yeah,
I haven't seen enough information. I still think DJ Moore is a good NFL player.
I mean, but you would rather have Rome for the rest of the season, though.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is one of those I watch every play and every snap, and so I'm just like, so on my dynasty takes tend to be pretty sharp on the Bears. My take is like DJ Moore has always been a good NFL wide receiver, like always, and I still think he is. That being said, Rome was born a better wide receiver than DJ Moore, and he is a ridiculously elite prospect, right? There were other people that kind of said like, no, really, Rome is just as good as Neighbors and Marv when it came to that draft class. I was one of those that thought they were a little bit closer, and his skill set could translate to the NFL in a stupid good way. You're seeing that, and unfortunately, DJ is dealing with Rome is just better, man. You remember when and that's why I'm still in on BTJ. Remember when BTJ as a rookie was just all of a sudden like better than everyone on that team? Because Christian Kirk was still a decent draft pick, and that was a question. So no, DJ Moore is going to be fine. They're still going to have good passing volume. The running game's not really working. The defense is a problem. So we're like the Cincinnati Bengals, but before the injury, right? We're a team with a bad, porous defense that has a lot of offensive weapons. That's why everyone drafted the Cincinnati Bengals. It's kind of a glass cannon. Caleb's fragile, but Ben J is finding a way for us to produce on offense for the most part. It's been mostly against bad teams, but in a way where if you don't have an elite defense, we can put up a lot of points on you, right? So for that reason, DJ Moore is going to be a part of that. He's going to be plenty startable.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I have DJ in a bunch of leagues where I'm sitting there, frustrated as well. I see him more as my wide receiver 3, in a 3 wide receiver league. And it's sad to think that way. I have Nico, Nico, Ricky Pearsall, and him as my starters, which I'm okay with. But at the end of the day, I got no one behind them that can really help me. Like this week, I'm starting Hollywood and Wan'Dale Robinson as my 2. My other 2 behind Nico. So, would I rather have DJ over the 2 of them? Of course I would. I would love nothing more than for DJ to be playing this week. But at the end of the day, I got to go with what I'm with. And honestly, it hurts me every time I watch the game. You can ask Kendall. I'm pretty much in our chat going, where the hell is DJ Moore? Is he hurt? Is he doing this? And I'm sitting there like waiting because I want to find a way to make it better. I've even thought about trading him away to the 4-0 or I'm currently 4-0. I'm looking to possibly trade DJ Moore to the 0-4 team for Rome Odunze, who he has, and trade both guys. Go here. I'm going to give you Rome for DJ, and instead of you offering me the 2nd round pick that you want, I'm going to give you. It's a keeper league, so I'll offer you like a 5th instead. Like I have to really think about things like that in this point because I am sick of it too. But if I can't get that done, I'll be okay. I'll feel better.
Yeah. Better days ahead, better days for the offense, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a frustrating road.
Yeah. So the Schmitty, what's going on, man? Great to have you here. He goes 2 QB flex league. I want Stafford, and the guy wants DK, and we play with defensive players. Ooh, my neck of the woods. I'm offering Mac Jones, Purdy, and DK. Okay. And a running back for Stafford and Fred Warner. What running back would you give up? Henderson, Monty, White, or Marks? Now, if this is redraft,
it's redraft, yeah.
It's Marks. And then I'm going to settle. With Henderson.
I think I got to go Rashad White. I'm pretty in on Marks. I like him this week and rest of season. White this week with questionable rest of season. Like he's got a great 2-week pop. Monty's got a sick matchup. I think he's basically a start of the week. He's going to be going off this week in a short term. So, I think it's White. It's White for me. If you have the option to,
I'd be okay with that too. But like I said, Marks is like my low ball offer, and then if they counter with anything else, I'm willing to. Like Henderson and White are my 2 that I'm okay with like getting rid of. Monty is your only guy you're keeping.
Yeah. It's interesting that I think Marks may have climbed past Henderson in my rest of season rankings as well. And I think it's just something you have to get comfortable with. I know the talent disparity is there, but the competition disparity is significantly different, right? Like Henderson has to climb past a very productive and it makes sense to play, right? Where like there is nothing that should prevent that team from playing the hell out of Woody Marks. Like it makes a lot of sense for him to have a stupid snap share and do like his own version of the Bucky Irving. So just to get, just to answer that question a little bit further, I'm at that point where I'm seriously considering Henderson sells for particular players like that. So,
okay. And no, Amazon Pancakes, I will not show your go Birds. I can't do it. I just can't do it. My brain won't let me do it now. Just for you. Because you're so nice to us and you love us. Scott, what's going on, Scott? Great to have you here tonight. He goes full PPR. All right. Need at least 1 running back and then 2 flex. Okay. Walker, White, Madison, Dottle, JMO, BTJ, and then Ertz or Waddle. Or Waller. My bad.
Waller.
So
I like Ertz a lot this week, just for the record.
Okay.
Especially with the questionable Debo and Terry out for sure. I feel like Ertz or like Ertz is an anytime touchdown bet for me. Waller is could be a
caveat. My only caveat to Ertz is the concept that he's going to be going against Derwin James. or he's going to be seeing Derwin James about 85% of the time.
Probably.
I would feel a little more comfortable about Waller against the Panthers. In my opinion, I would rather have Waller over that. So for me, it's Waller. I like Ertz. He's comfortable. He's safe. Waller's more upside and more ceiling. So if you need the ceiling after facing, a buzzsaw on Thursday night from one of the 5 guys that went off, I am okay with playing Waller over that. And then Ertz if you're, pretty much in the lead or, you want to stay conservative. For the other ones, it's a little easier for me. I'm going with all running back. I'm going to go Walker, White, and Dottle. Madison's the only guy that's going to be taking a seat today.
Going Walker, White, J-Mo's the only difference there.
Yeah, J-Mo I understand, and J-Mo is my ceiling play for the same answer as the other one.
If you need applied team point total of 30, highest on the week. That's just so many points to allocate to.
Well, but
an offense.
That's the other part that's annoying is because that game is so out of hand to the point where you don't know who's going to be scoring the whole time. It could be another freaking Amon-Ra St. Brown 6 touchdown game for all we know.
Laporta could score 2 touchdowns and have the only good,
So, and I understand it. So, like I said, if you are currently behind J-Mo, if you are currently in the lead, Dottle, if you are currently tied at 0, I'm going Dottle, Walker, White. They give you the best. They're the most comfortable that you can use, and they're the most consistent out of all of those.
I'm not going BTJ though for sure.
Oh, we're gonna throw the stack thing out now.
Oh, Goff too. Well, it's fine to go unstacked Goff.
I know. It's
totally
outdoors.
You probably should be going JMO with Goff because I think the positive correlation is more favorable.
I need to check the weather report because it's outdoors, and Jared Goff historically sucks outside. So
you have a point there,
and you live in the area. Well, you live sort of near there. Let me see what you guys have next week. You guys have it's clear as day, 85 degrees.
It's
wind.
It's such an insane matchup, man. He could have 5 touchdowns, dude.
I'm taking a shit. I mean I can bend on JMO, but then if I'm bending on JMO, who's the one running back out of the group that you would take out?
I can easily take out Dowdle because Dowdle doesn't really have a floor. He has touches, but I still just don't trust that offense to have to do anything.
Okay.
I still think it's one of those I'm just low on the Panthers. I think the Panthers are a goofy, weird team that sometimes don't have it. Sometimes Bryce just doesn't fucking have it. Sometimes the team just doesn't have it.
Yeah.
And if the other team doesn't want to play offense, it can be one of the games that just, if you watch Red Zone, you'll literally not know that game exists,
No, I know. They're not going to show it ever. And, they're not going to show the Detroit game ever either.
You know how Tony Pollard's suffering that with the Titans right now? It's you look at the box score, and it's he touching the ball 20, 22 times a game for 60 yards. And then he'll catch 2 passes for 11. And it's he had 7.8 points, 8.2. And it's one of those situations where a running back on a shitty offense with very little hope to do better is just sometimes I'm always going to go for some upside, right?
Guess the Lions pass rate.
Lions pass rate?
Yeah. Out of the league. Guess where they are at pass rate?
4th.
You view them as the 4th best in passing rate or passing the ball.
No, I thought that was in terms of just how often they.
The pass rate, run pass ratio.
Yeah, I would say they're about 4.5. Yeah,
4.5. They're 31st.
Really?
In 4 weeks, they are 31st. I'm not even kidding.
I guess they run the ball so much where
they
that
run the
makes
ball
sense.
so much. They pass it to the outside every so often. They
I guess
do
they
run.
I just have such
So
an efficient offense. It really feels like Goff has thrown. How many times?
their
has he
rush
thrown the
rate is
ball?
second. I'm trying to. I'm looking at team tendencies currently. That's what I'm viewing. I'm telling you. And their passes to the wide receiver, they're pretty low on the list with passes to the wide receiver. They are near the bottom. They're like 20th. But at the same time, if you look at passes to the running back, they're 5th. So
Well, I mean,
that's
we'll have
part
to
of
see.
what
I mean,
you've seen.
a lot of my
You
projection
understand
for
what
the
I'm
offense
saying, though,
too
right?
is like, so the idea is JMO in their offense last year was a top 24 wide receiver, right? I think he's gotten better, not worse.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't feel like the offense has gotten much worse. So I think overall across 17 games and different stuff, I just think there's going to be so often where Goff is going to do quite well because I'm always going to project the pass catchers to be good enough. And the difference this year is the defense all of a sudden looks mean, and the defense is Monty's best friend, right? We all kind of thought that if they were going to be in more shootouts, that like that's why we were a little more afraid of Monty and a little more heavy on Gibbs, right? So, and I think we've seen their defense be a streamer. You know, a lot of us are playing that defense this week, so I can see your point. Where if it's a low yardage game, what if there's 5 touchdowns, but 3 of them come from the running backs, right? If there's only 2.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that they're not going to need to pass the damn ball that much, and they haven't needed to because their offense is effective running the ball. So what's the point in using a guy that they're not passing to? I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. I understand how valuable JMO is. I get his ceiling. But like I said, could they throw one bomb and just stop pretty much stop it one? Yeah. But I'm telling you now, Walker White, Dottle is probably safer than any of that combo with JMO in it.
Fair play.
Sorry. I when I saw that stat, I had to throw it out there because I've never thought I thought the exact same thing that you did. I really did. Because all you've been hearing is Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown. He's got 3 games, like that's all I hear. And then I see their pass rate and it doesn't make any sense. Amazon goes, DJ is only 28. He needs to be traded maybe back to Carolina with Tet.
Oh my goodness.
That would be the day.
That would be soul crushing for him, man. That would be brutal.
This is a great question. Ridley, DJ Moore, Scary Terry, rest of the season. Which one are you keeping? DJ Moore.
Yeah, DJ Moore for sure.
Yeah. I can't do the other ones. I'm not comfortable with those. Geo Blurs, what's going on, man? Great to have you on the show today. He says, would you start Sutton over Debo? Yes.
Yeah, I think I would.
I cannot find a way to not start him.
Yeah. If you told me Debo was 100% healthy this entire week and that wasn't a question, now we have a think. But even just the injury alone is like, why am I taking that risk when their overall scoring outcomes are already running so close? It's a risk averse thing as much as it is an outcomes.
Yeah, and I will tell you, I am the Sutton truther of these two that sit here before you today. I love Sutton. I've had Sutton on my team for quite some time in Dynasty. I can't give him up for almost anything. I believe in Sutton as a very underrated wide receiver 1. He is my most and now that he has Bo Nix, it only makes me happier. So I like Sutton. It's gonna be fine against the Eagles. Don't scare me as much as you would think against that type of team. So
yeah,
I'm not really.
I think it's honestly a pretty good point.
Daniel Jones or Hurts, and this is so gross. Daniel Jones.
I'm gonna stick with Hurts.
The Broncos.
Daniel Jones is
not against
so.
The Broncos. Nope.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Not against the Broncos, and I'm gonna throw all my stuff at you right now. Broncos #1 against quarterbacks.
I just don't think they've played the Eagles, right? Like
#1.
I would look up the stats of like the Eagles in general.
Okay, so who have they
I'm saying
played? Who have they played? Yes,
Well,
Cam Ward. I understand.
okay,
Daniel Jones.
that's this year though, right? What were the
Herbert.
the Eagles team this year versus last year? Pretty similar rosters, right?
Fair enough.
How did they do last year? Like as a team, they had a pretty good year, right?
They are defensive ranked at 92 out of 100.
Right. I'm saying so their offense, they have to lean on their offense more than they did last year, right? And I think Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, I think he was like quarterback 7 or 8 last year. He definitely fell a few spots in the rankings, but I don't see on a week to week basis. You have to you're basically saying matchups 100% dictate a talent disparity.
No.
And I think Jalen Hurts plus weapons, like he's a better quarterback than Daniel Jones with better weapons.
Here's
like,
my here's my only caveat. What do you need to do to make Jalen Hurts not good?
What would I have to do to make him not good?
I don't stop the run and contain
outside of injury.
Correct?
No, I don't think there's anything you can do because if you want to completely stop the run,
he cannot throw the ball to save his life. And if you make AJ Brown mad with Pat Surtain and keep the Slim Reaper a little bit, covered, which they can and they have, you then force him to just use Barkley the whole time. And if you stop Barkley and him, everything's fine. It's an easy way for me. I can't, and the Raiders, their defense isn't enough to scare me.
I'll throw this out there just because you mentioned Saquon. Then, for the same reason, I think any quarterback for San Francisco is going to be fine because Christian McCaffrey gets to catch so many passes, and the Christian McCaffrey actually, we were like, you know how many rushing touchdowns he's had this year?
Yeah, I get it.
0.
Yeah.
It's actually all been passing touchdowns to Christian McCaffrey. I think Saquon, we're going to see him more as a weapon in the passing game. We've seen it more this year than last year, but I still think there is, in the same way Jacobs had like 9 targets the other day, I think Saquon can get up there, and I think it's an element to when a really tough defensive wall where they're typical options that have been good enough to win a Super Bowl with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an element that's going to come up, and it's going to give Jalen Hurts some free touchdowns in addition to the tush push. The finding Barkley in space in the passing game is just good for him from a fantasy football outcome. So it gives me enough where I like Jonathan Taylor a lot. I think over the course of 17 games, we're going to see more games where Jonathan Taylor rushes for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the rest of the offense was good, but JT was really the biggest part of it. And I think you'll also see some Daniels rushing production and touchdowns from it.
Agreed.
But Hurts to Daniels, I'm just going to lean a little bit more specifically on what I still think the passing floor is for Hurts. Where I side with you is I don't think Hurts is a good passer of the football.
No.
That's where I don't hear what I'm not saying is you won't find me be like, yeah, Jalen Hurts can toss the football. That's where I'm out. I'm much more that I think Daniel Jones is worse at passing the ball. And I think they have more reasons on that team to just run the actual rock and keep games close. And Indy has an underrated defense, in my opinion.
Think about what happened in the context of who Indy is. Head coach, the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, who had Jalen Hurts. Both are prototypically basically the same thing, but Daniel Jones is a better passer. That is the only big difference of the two, is that Daniel Jones can pass the ball a lot better and more accurately. You can give him any knock you want. I've seen him for the last freaking 5 years. I know who the guy is. I've seen him play. He didn't have a line. They didn't have a good offense to help him, and they didn't do anything to help him at all. They now they now have Pittman, who is serviceable. They have Downs. They have A.D. Mitchell. They have all different types of weapons that have been around. They bought him. They basically got him Tyler Warren, and all those pieces together have worked out to be something good the last few weeks. Yeah, they had one really bad game, or they had one really good game against a really bad defense. The rest of them have been guys like the Broncos, who we are currently talking about in this case. I feel more comfortable with a guy like Daniel Jones, who can easily do well against a bad defense, which we've already seen. Hurts has a harder time against good defenses, and and that's because the team will lean on the run because he can't throw it. So teams shut down the pass for him to be able to only need to run. Now, yeah, the upside with rushing in fantasy, I get it. But at the end of the day, Daniel Jones can do more because his ceiling's higher with his passing. And he has the same type of ability to vulture touchdowns from JT, because we saw it in week 1, because I was I was cursing his name in week 1. It's gotten to the point where I am well past Hurts. I have always been down on Hurts. I was always down on Daniel Jones, but in this offense, he looks good. He looks solid. Everything is fine with me. I'm going Jones. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Put a couple bucks on it, man.
I'll put my dollar bet on it.
One.
I'll put a dollar bet on that for a better what is it? Better performance, better finish. You want to do better finish?
We could do better finish.
Better fantasy finish.
We could do better fantasy finish in this one.
I'll do $1 on you.
Yeah,
we'll do our little
you,
dollar bet. So Scott goes back to my question. Walker scares me because of Charbonnet. Thoughts? Also, my opponent has Kyron Williams, so I'm in the hole. All right. So if you're in the hole, JMO might be a better option. It's just a ceiling play. It's just a way to get you back into the game, to be able to, have an opportunity. That's the only upside for you. I like
Charbonnet too. I'm not even anti-Charbonnet.
I'm not scared of Walker. I'm not scared of Charbonnet and Walker. I forgot who it was. I hope I reposted it. I got to look back. Someone posted something recently and I went, it opened my eyes, and I was looking at it and they're like, they were saying something about production of Walker and Charbonnet.
Oh, it's the rushing success rate.
Was it that? Oh, you saw it?
Because a lot of the misnomer that, like, the false, like, you think this, but it's not actually true, is that Charbonnet has been more efficient.
It's not. It's Walker.
But when they actually looked at it, they're like, yeah, no, Walker was like 44%.
Walker is more efficient.
Charbonnet was like 30, 32. Walker was 44%.
And Charbonnet is battling injury, and he's also, he's been playing with injury the last few weeks. They've been giving it to Walker more, and they've been doing fine. They finally kind of balanced it out where it's 60-40 now. That's not a bad thing for Walker. Does it hurt when you see Charbonnet on the goal line after Walker just ran it down the field? Yeah, it hurts. But I think Walker is more. I think Walker has more to play for at the end of the day. He wants a contract next year. He wants to move forward. They could be looking to trade him at one point. He is somebody that I think he has that chip on his shoulder and mindset.
He's really good at football, man.
He's just really good.
Really good.
You can see it. You can
when
see
they
how
came
much,
out, he was compared to Breece Hall. The idea was that Breece Hall was Breece, but Kenneth Walker was real close.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, just hold tight with Walker. I have Walker everywhere. I drafted Walker in almost every league. I have Walker and Kyron Williams in every league.
The same way that James Cook is just tearing it up.
I love James Cook.
Trust me, if you put Walker in James Cook's situation, you would see some shit. That's all I'm going to say. And Walker, that offense looks good. Darnold looks like an adult in the room. Turnovers are down. If anything, Walker stands to gain a few more explosive runs coming up. And we're still seeing good involvement in the passing game, not as heavy as last year, but still solid. It's a small sample size. Give it 4 more games and give him the passing touchdown at the goal line instead of Charbonnet just once that game, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit!
I'm telling you, you'll be fine. Don't stress too much about it.
Yeah.
So Bo Nix is going to be a league winner? ? He's my QB with Indiana Jones. I love it, man. That's great that you have both. I don't know if he'll be a league winner, but I love Bo. I'm a big fan of Bo Nix. I was a big fan of him out of college. Big fan of him coming to coming and being with Sean Payton. Kind of wanted him to be a Giant, but that's not my call. We got neighbors instead, which is fine. But I like Bo Nix. I think he has a really strong career moving forward this year, especially. I think he'll be fine. And good for you. And
I think he'd be better if they had a worse defense. I hate that their defense is so good.
Defense is really good. Really good.
Should help out JK and Harvey a little more than Bo Nix for game script, but
you would have to kidnap Hurts and lock him in the class. Oh God, he goes. The Eagles are a well-balanced team. They can win passing or running. They just they adjust well and spread the ball around. I know you're an Eagles fan. I'm not trying to like hurt you. You know, did you watch Hurts in the Super Bowl this past year? MVP.
And
No,
you know, if you upset an Eagles fan in chat, they're like those Philly
I
guys.
get
They
it.
come
I
for
get
you.
it.
You
They
know what I
come.
mean?
I know.
Maybe I'm
I
just
know.
pandering, so they don't at me.
Hey, you know what? That's fine. I have never been. The difference for this is I've never been a Jalen Hurts fan because he is such a cheat code for fantasy that it upsets me to the point where it's just like,
That's fair.
no, it's just annoying. Like I play in a 4-point passing touchdown leagues for all my big money leagues, which is annoying, and I want to change it because of this, because of a guy like this, because it sucks that you like I have my nickname as classic for a reason. I like the prototypical pocket passer that can scramble once in a while and get you points. Like I like Justin Herbert more than anything because he can sling the damn ball for 4,500 yards a year, every year. Jalen Hurts doesn't throw the ball that often. Like last year, he finished the year with 2,500 yards. And it blows my, or 2,900, whatever. It blows my mind that that's considered good. Back in the day, Dan Marino was the staple. John Elway, the staple. Those guys were throwing the ball. They didn't run the ball. Guys like Hurts just annoy me. I love watching them play. It's great. It's fine. But at the end of the day, it just annoys me. It's just an annoyance. Do I have any of Hurts on any of my teams? No. I rather have a Burrow. I rather have a bunch of other guys until Burrow gets hurt. I know all these things. I just don't. He totaled over 300 total yards of offense, 3 total touchdowns, and his 72 rushing yards were the most for quarterback in NFL history. He balanced dual threat. I know.
You're lucky you just have one of them in chat, man.
But that's one
multiple,
game.
They gang up on you.
That's one game. I know. I'll be fine. I'm a Giants fan. It's one of those things where I see him so often that I get it. He's a decent quarterback. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan of what he does. As a person, as a individual person who he is, he's a great guy. I've seen a lot of what he does. He does great, for the community. He's I just don't like anything else. And you can show me all his passing yards and all this stuff. I don't see it. The eye test does not show me anything. But that's just me. I'm allowed to have this opinion about it. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. So the Smith says, who would you replace Juwan Jennings Johnson with? Waller. Or Strange. Waller or Strange.
There's real consideration for Njoku for me. I think the quarterback change might favor Njoku a little bit, only because it could do something. But I don't think it's strong enough to go over. I like Waller over Njoku and Strange for sure. Well, Waller has real potential to be like their only red zone weapon. It's like Achane Waller. It's going to go to one of them and a lot of their trips. And I still think he could be okay. It's close. I will throw out there, I'm pretty in on Mason Taylor. The matchup
I love
Dallas
Taylor.
is amazing. He's actually my favorite play.
He's hurt. That's my only caveat.
He is hurt. If it looks like he's 100% good to go, I've got a spicy play that I think he's going to be just that guy that always gets 8 or 9 targets in that offense in a way that we saw Fannin early in the season, where I don't love these guys.
It's a 1:00 game, so you can check in on Sunday, and I'll let you know.
There you go. Otherwise, I agree with you. I think Waller is here to stay. I'm pretty excited about that.
To me, he's top 10 until further notice.
Yeah.
Will Hayes goes Keon Coleman or DeMarcaro full PPR. I like DeMarcaro.
I'm gonna go DeMarcado. I think it's a safer play.
The Coleman situation is annoying. I have Coleman everywhere. I like Coleman. Great kid. Really strong wide receiver. Josh Allen is a great quarterback, knows how to run the game, knows how to do his thing. unless Coleman is in a good situation, it's hard to it's hard to really get an idea of what they're going to do. Shakir has been his, one guy that he likes going to. It's really, really tough, to be quite honest. I'd prefer DeMarcaro just because he's a running back, the volume play, the concept that he's closer to, Kyler in general, because they know each other. I just feel a little bit better about that situation than I do about Keon Coleman.
Yeah, my prediction coming into the year, one of my things to watch was, I think that between Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid, one of the two is going to have what some might consider a bit of a breakout, more on the mini side. It could be on the bigger side, but I didn't think it was probably likely that they both could at the same time. So I had high exposure to one of the two, but never two at the same time, typically.
Agreed.
In a lot of places. I am pretty big on what Kincaid's doing. I like the red zone usage a lot. I just think he's playing quite good, and he makes a lot of sense for their play style. Yeah. And until their running game slows down, and I just don't think it has any reason to, there's I think it's too many mouths, too much of a run game. And Coleman, I think he's going to take a step forward, but I just don't. I don't see enough. He's one trade away still.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So I was. He goes, Giants tears. I'm just messing with you. You play to win the game. Oh, I agree. Come on now. I am complete. The coolest thing for me, and this is just one of my fun things that I like. When we have these particular podcasts and we're able to talk to different fans of different teams and all that, and for me, talking to Eagles fans, one of my favorite things that we can both really grasp is that we both hate the Cowboys. And that's
absolutely right.
And we can bond off of that because that's the one thing we can both agree on. Do I like you guys? Not particularly, but that's only because we're rivals in a division that I have to hate you.
Just it is what it is, man.
But I don't hate you, the person. I hate the team that you root for. But at the same time, it's okay for you to root for that team because I understand why you do it. I just don't understand why you want to throw batteries at Santa. I just don't get it. Just don't get it. So he goes, for a Giants fan, you seem like a good dude. We can still be friends. Yeah, I mean, see, I am a very rational Giants fan. We have a lot of guys out there that are a little bit more, active than me. And it's just a little bit, that jersey in them. Like, no, that ain't me, man. I'm not like that. I'm very understanding of my situation. I know my team sucks. Like, I know we're rebuilding. I'm excited for the season. Like, those things I'm cool with. But I have realistic expectations for what is happening. So I'm not one of those like weird guys that, I'm not like Jets fans that think they're going to win every year. Yeah, it's just not like that. All right, boys and girls, unless we have other questions, we're going to start wrapping things up. We have been here for 2 straight hours helping you guys with your team. So hopefully we were able to help you guys get through your particular start sit questions. I will be back here on Sunday morning to help you guys out and also watch a little bit of that Minnesota and Cleveland game, so that should be fun out in London. That should be
defensive show, boys.
Oh, that will be
some pick sixes.
Disgusting watching show. I will be as much in the Discord as I can with injuries and typing stuff. I got a wedding that night, so I might not be as coherent. Beyond that, make sure, if you haven't already, check out Underdog Fantasy. For those that haven't, make sure you do. Make sure you guys are using the promo code GETRIGHT, and they will make sure to give you this. New players get play 5, get 50 for new customers. This is for those pick'em games. If you haven't played them, they are fun as can be. I currently don't have the current one that we have, but make sure you guys check it out. They do have promos for that all the time. Give you gimme picks all the time. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the show. Always enjoy having everybody in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Amazon Pancakes, especially you. We got Joe Ortiz.
Amen to that.
Everybody, John and Will Hayes, Perry, all you guys. Scott, thank you guys for all coming. Geo Blurs and who else? We got Ant in the house. Great to have you here today. The Schmitty, thank you so much. Tyler, always a pleasure. Jay, great having you here. Matt C, always glad. Sadness is life. Oh, just all you guys. Really appreciate it. If you're not already in the Discord, make sure you guys are. We have the Discord link below. So make sure you guys jump in there so that Kendall and I can talk to you there throughout the week. We can always get you what you need. I always post injury news as well. So make sure you guys get in there. I think that's it, right?
I think that's it, man. That's 2 hours, man. It was marathon. We haven't done. I know we've been trying to keep it to an hour, and we still go an hour and a half. But it's been a minute.
But we're here for
2 hour, a 2 hour show. But it was injury apocalypse first week of buys. I think we expected the first week of buys is usually a pretty busy one. So
you might need to help us get out of here because I can't find the button that I'm supposed to click. Because something happened in my particular thing.
No worries.
So you got to go to the media assets and find our music.
We will outro video it. No problem.
There we go. Because and then you're gonna have. Oh, I can end the stream. Anyway, thanks everybody. I hope everyone has a wonderful week 5. We will see you guys on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. And so good luck to everybody in week